Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I want to make a little bit of a different video tonight. I want to make more of a video that's a little bit more serious about why you may not be getting your manifestations. Why is your manifestations not working? And this is something that I've been learning recently since especially for people who have manifested things, brought things into their fruition, and then they find it hard to manifest certain things down the road and all that. So we're going to talk about it a little bit. I have some notes on my phone. So the first thing is you keep looking back. So you're looking back on a time when everything was just manifesting and going well, and you're judging yourself and shaming yourself for not getting the things that you want in this current space, in this current moment. Because maybe it may have been easy, and it's easy to manifest things when things are going extremely well in your life, and you're and you're extremely very happy, and everything is going good. It's pretty easy to manifest things then. But what about when you are in the process of switching your identity and you are trying to make things change? Sometimes it is very hard. But when you keep looking back and judging your now current circumstance and the way that you're manifesting now based off of everything that you have manifested before, trying to line the times up and like, oh, it only took this many months, so it should take this long, or oh, I need it by this time. It's like you're putting restraints on the universe. You're putting a time limit. You're putting the universe in a box, and that is not how you get anything. All right, so the next thing is you are not allowing yourself to settle into your new identity. You are, like I said, still holding on to things and resting. You're not allowing yourself to rest. I think that sometimes we consistently think that we need to take massive action, or you are trying to change things and move things that are already the way they are, the things that you've already manifested. What are the things that are favorable to you and the things that are not favorable to you that have showed up in your reality. You're trying to force those things to change instead of just allowing that to be and then choosing a new direction to move forward. So you're trying to change the outside circumstances to match what you're trying to, the feeling that you're trying to have, but you can't go back and change that. Those things are the way they are. You've manifested them. It's more easier to accept those things that they are the way they are at that point, and then to move forward in a different way to manifest. So with new thoughts and new feelings and new ideas. And also sometimes I think that we need to take all this massive action when honestly it is an inside job. It is just you moving your internal compass in the direction of being that person who already has the thing, is doing the thing, and is being the thing, right? So also sometimes just allowing yourself to rest. I think when we are switching our identities, there's a lot that you have to consider. You have to consider that you are breaking down old patterns, old thoughts, and old habits. And if you're trying to fill that space by just trying to take action and trying to do and trying to maneuver, then that's when it really becomes a problem, because you're sending out a signal that you are just frantic and upset, and you're confusing the universe. You're confusing what you want to bring into your reality. So you need to relax. Sometimes it is okay to rest. Rest is very crucial, and I think for those of us who have had to be the person who makes sure we get ourselves together, make sure we pick ourselves up, make sure we are meeting our own needs, that can be very hard to just accept and allow the universe to do what it does, which is align us into our paths and let the bridge of incidents unfold. We're too worried about what's going on in the middle. Like, we're not living in the end. We're just trying to be like, okay, like, because before maybe you could have gauged how it possibly can come in, but there's going to be certain things that you're not going to be able to gauge exactly how they come to you. So if you're someone like me who struggles with releasing control completely, then that is a reason why you are holding up your manifestation. All right, so the next one is something we don't really talk about, and you guys know I talk about shame a lot on this channel, but I really want to talk about grief, because this is something that I'm going into specifically. I'm learning a little bit more about divine timing and working with the universe. And in this way, I've always been a person, like I said, who has always gotten what I wanted and has been able to gauge and to always have a plan out of life, because I've grown up in an environment that was, you basically have to fend for yourself or get it how you live. and really take control of my life in making certain decisions. So when I'm trying to rely and just allow, and things are not coming in and things are not working out the way that I want them to, I realize I'm shaming myself. I'm telling myself like that there must be something wrong with me. And I think we don't give ourselves that space to grieve our old identity. So this is what I really wanted to talk about in um, this video, is that we really, some of us go through a time where we have to grieve our old identities, because like you guys, I told you guys that I have released my old identity and my old job, my old career. And that was 16 years of me having a certain identity and doing things a certain way. So imagine having to start all the way over again and learn new thoughts, behaviors, new feelings. And this time, in this space in my life, it has actually been a more receptive time for me to just sit back and allow things to happen. I'm not working so hard to make things happen. And this is, although this is something that I have been manifesting, I've been telling Spirit that I want to, work from home. I want to be home with my dogs more. I want to, help people in a different way. I want to do work that is more meaningful and purposeful. And the work that is more meaningful and purposeful is not going to be super hard work, you guys. So for me, this is me grieving my old identity and actually trying to make peace with that. And this is something that I was thinking about earlier today as I was cleaning my house. You have to make peace with yourself, and you have to make peace with the old you, the old version of you, the one who had even the defense mechanisms that you had. They saved you, and they, for a lot of us, kept some of us alive. And I think we try to drag those pieces into it because that's all we've ever known. We try to drag that old person in with us, the defense mechanisms that we had, and those things we don't realize they no longer serve us. So when you get a moment, you have to process that and thank yourself for that moment, and thank yourself for that time that, okay, you might have had this defense mechanism at this point, but we don't need it anymore. And I want to thank you for saving me, for protecting me, and then you honor that version of yourself by implementing the ideas and the lessons that you've learned from that space into your new identity. And I think it reminds us not to be attached to our identities, because we're always shifting and we're always changing. And the harder you hold on to an identity, and like I said, for me, an identity that has been present with me for 16 years, for me, always and I'll just tell you guys this. I think the reason why I was in the beauty industry for so long was because I never felt like, I was beautiful enough or that I was worthy enough. So I felt like me going to seek it in that way and being someone who would bring beauty to others, that would in turn make me feel beautiful. But I was ignoring a lot of what I genuinely wanted inside of me, which was to create, which was to express, which was to be a writer. I used to read books, write books, all these things, and to speak to people. And I had all these ideas and all these quotes and philosophies from a younger age. And as I was cleaning out my apartment earlier, I found one of my old journals where I used to write my thoughts and my philosophies down, and, all the things that I just kind of forgot about, So all these things are coming to surface, and I am definitely grieving my old life and my old identity. And I don't want to get emotional about it, but it is something that is releasing the more that I acknowledge me grieving this part, and that it's okay, especially growing up, having to be strong, having to step in for others, never having a moment to where I could just relax and just emotionally break down. This space that I'm in right now, I feel like Spirit has got me sitting down. All right. And that may be the case for a lot of you guys, where you're having to sit down and you're having to face a lot of things about yourself, the things that cannot come into this next space in your life. And it is hard. And a lot of the times it's hard for us to get the things we want because we're not accepting that we need to grieve out this process, and we need to, this is spirit cleansing, and tears are good because they cleanse the soul. All right, so you may not be getting what you want, and you may not be manifesting what you want because you're still holding on. You have not fully grieved that process of you going through whatever it is that you're going through, and grieving all that you've lost. And it's okay, because I think in the community everybody wants to affirm all day, and that's amazing, and not that doesn't work. That works for some people, but for some of us who have grown with all this trauma and all, we don't realize until you have to sit down and the divine has you looking at all the things that you have to really bypass. Because if you want to reach super high levels, you cannot go with some of those certain attributes that you currently have. So you have to clear that out, and it's going to be a lot of it's going to be uncomfortable, it's going to be clearing, it's going to be crying, it's going to be all the things, and that does not affect your manifestation. So you have to realize that you may be just grieving your old identity while moving on. So I'm making peace with that part of myself. I'm making peace with my inner child, and I'm bringing those things back that really was the real me. All right, so I feel like this next phase for a lot of us, we're not going to be able to go into unless we are fully being our authentic selves. All right, so I'm going to give you some things that I'm doing currently to help me with this process. And number one, of course, is journaling, and to really be honest with myself. I think before, when I was journaling, I was dancing around the fact, but I was so afraid to get deep and honest with myself. So me journaling in this way of being completely honest and saying the things that I am fearful of, you know, although I've manifested amazing things for my life, you know, I still feel like in some ways, like I was covering up a lot of things that I did not want to look at. So in this phase of my life, I'm being 100% honest with myself, especially from wanting to help people, and to, I feel like me sharing my story in this way is going to help not just heal me, but inspire others. All right. So when you want to move and get a different identity, you're going to have to be completely honest with yourself about your old one. And like I said, your old life is going to definitely, it's going to cost you your old life. Your old life is definitely, you're going to have to give it up in order to get your new one, you guys. All right. So not just journaling, but sitting in silence and resting. Resting does so much for you. And I think in this society, we think we got to work. But the inner work is the most important thing, you guys. And if you're not doing the inner work by resting, I would have never knew that I needed to do all these things. I never would have known what it was that I was really hiding from myself if I did not rest, you guys. All right. And also cleaning your apartment, being grateful for what you have, cleaning your home, getting the dust out. I think it's easy for us to just lay down and become very almost depressed. But I find that cleaning and decluttering is helping me to pull out all those old emotions as well. So that may help you too. All right. So I'm going to wrap up this video, you guys. But I hope that this video gave you something, and me sharing myself with you, I'm hoping that it inspires you to be honest with yourself about some of the things that are holding you back from fully thriving in your new identity. All right. So I love you guys. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you for being with me here on my secret YouTube channel, and also me starting my channel messages channel has been helping me a lot to heal. So find something that you could pour yourself into, whether it's writing, whether it's creating. It helps you get into that receiving mode. All right. So I love you guys, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye.